What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Blazed and Confused, the podcast where curiosity is high, confidence is questionable, and logic usually shows up late. I'm Max.
And I'm Noah.
So, as promised, we're back with a part 2. We didn't leave you with a little bit of suspense between these because we planned this one. Not like the Antarctica where there were a lot of things listeners said they wanted to hear more about. This one was chose by us to be 2 parts. So
Become a little more prepared on this one. A lot more information.
This one's
just
scary.
as many conspiracies as Antarctica, but this one comes with a ton more facts.
I mean, yeah, the facts from this one though are scary, which makes me wonder if the ones about Antarctica are as scary as MKUltra. I don't want to learn anymore.
Yeah, I don't blame you on that.
Yeah, this is not made up. This is real shit. We are going to get some of the cool conspiracies out of this. I liked the conspiracies more than the reality.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, I'd definitely choose the conspiracies in this one over the actual reality because I hate the reality of it.
Yeah.
But the crazy part of it is some of the conspiracies are starting to come to light to be more reality, which is getting even scarier.
Yeah.
Because it's all happening behind the closed doors. It's happening actively in some court cases right now.
Well, actually, we'll touch on that. There's not much new discovery in the new court hearings, the congressional hearings. Not even really court. But it's just resurfacing all of this.
But that's the crazy part to me is why are we going back to this again?
Well, because
what more are we trying to figure out?
Because before we even jumped into this, I mean, I know for me, I don't know about maybe for you, I thought a lot more of this was conspiracy than actual fact proven experiments and shit that we've done.
No, I knew a lot of it was real.
But you don't trust the government to start with.
Yes, I've been searching this type of stuff since high school.
Yeah, so I mean, like we touched on last week, it's scary because it's true. And my favorite thing that I came away with that I kept repeating was, if we started with this, where did we stop with what we did to our own people or even just other people that, makes us the bad guy? But this is the stuff that's been proven that we covered. We're just going to briefly catch us back up on it. The confirmed experiments is like the sensory deprivation, the electroshock, the drug cocktails and what came from them, and hypnosis and all these other things that we talked on last week. Like I said, we're just briefly getting on those. But the things that are now being talked about in the hearings, again, is the things that came up in the first hearings, which was released CIA documents, declassifying files, government admitting to the things that happened, financial records of, like we said, all the donations and things to these research facilities that they didn't know were part of it. More court cases that followed, compensation for victims. Before this, there wasn't any. And then settlements from the Canadian government as well. Now, a lot of these were reconstructed after the attempt of getting rid of MKUltra. So, a lot of stuff that's missing, and that's where it gets into Noah's favorite topic.
Bigfoot?
No, conspiracies, though.
No.
What if Bigfoot is just an MKUltra experiment? It's a dude that they were like, don't shave ever again and run from people.
Oh, God.
New conspiracy has entered the chat.
It gets into your giants.
Oh, dude. That Giants is not
They brainwashed one of the Giants.
Yeah.
Ultra, and then told him not to shave ever again. Sent him off into the woods.
Too bad there's no MKUltra explanation for fucking dragons.
We're not doing this tonight. Okay?
There is a couple that touch on aliens, but that's if you want to get real deep and the crazy.
That's your rabbit hole, bud. I'm not.
Yeah.
You know me. I'm not as much into the aliens,
dude. I'm
until it
only
comes
into it.
to our government hiding them from us.
Right,
Okay, and then I'm into it.
Then I'm
Okay?
in. The only reason aliens always comes up is because, like we said, it's the favorite like fall guy.
Yeah.
Well, we can't explain this or we don't want to, so aliens. Have fun
See,
with that,
where you
guys.
blame the aliens, I blame the government, and that's what makes us two different people, okay?
Yeah, that's what makes us confused. But no, it's like they said, a lot of conspiracies followed with this. My favorite one that came from this, I don't know if you had kind of come across this one that's got the name dubbed the Manchurian Candidate. This
I did
is,
not.
well, it's like you mentioned, it's like people being programmed. And you had a pretty heavy, during last week, you kept telling me when we were getting ready to record that this one person you think was brainwashed or mind controlled to do his terrible acts. Do you remember Charles Manson?
It was, so there's two people that are on my mind for it. Manson's the big one.
Right.
Because he's pretty well at the tippity top of the conspiracy list for it.
Yep.
The other one is Jack Ruby.
Oh, dude, I've got even more too.
But the Jack Ruby one really isn't as big to me. I see Jack Ruby as another fall guy for it. But right. I think in my mind, it is a string of mind control at that point. Like, you got Lee Harvey Oswald, mind control, and then assassinated the president, turns around.
Yep.
I
mean, there's people saying that about everything nowadays. Like, they say that about the Charlie Kirk assassin, all this. I feel like that one is, ever since this idea of this conspiracy came up, and, you know, maybe you'll think the same when I finish this. Ever since this became an explanation, this was like in the running for just being an excuse for things that we didn't like the answer for. Just like aliens, just like, you know, magic, just like whatever. People always say, well, what if they're mind controlled? And before, like, you wouldn't give a shit. You'd be like, oh yeah, whatever, you're nuts. No. After learning about what they did in MKUltra and confirmed things that they did do, now you're like, shit, maybe that is real.
Oh yeah. I mean, when they say, oh, we stopped doing it in the late 70s.
It's like bullshit.
Bullshit. Yeah. I'm sorry. That's a bold-faced lie, and everybody knows it. You never stopped it. You just told people you stopped it, and then you did it behind closed doors. Yep. You figured out the way to do it, and then you went, all right, we got caught.
But hey, now we just need to do better. This is how they caught us.
This is what we got to do.
Yep.
But yep, we stopped. The public, we stopped. We're sorry. It was wrong. We admit it was wrong.
Yeah. Well, like, here's what's even crazier about, like, you said Manson, and you said, who was the other one?
Jack Ruby. But like I said, Jack Ruby is the one that'll lead you down a huge rabbit hole. Because
that's
it'll put you
assassination rabbit hole and everything.
Yes. Yeah. Which is a big one because, I mean, like we talked about last week with the assassinations, that was something that was part of their plan, was to mind control to do.
But not in the U.S., Noah, not in the U.S.
Yeah, they would never use it on their own people.
They would never do it.
No. But that got me into the Las Vegas shooting, which, I'm not going to lie, that's a touchy subject for a lot of people, but if we would like to talk about it, it is a huge conspiracy.
No, that one's easy to talk about. I'm not going to talk about it today, but...
Commenters, if you'd like to talk, if you'd like to hear about it, you want to hear us talk about that conspiracy, I am more than happy to dive in because it gets me.
That's going to be the first one that you and I are both on the same page. Like, full-hearted.
Yeah, it's crazy. It is a crazy one, the amount of conspiracies around it, that the government did it, you know. Yeah. Like, it was an inside job.
Yep. Well, bringing us back onto topic here, now that you've gone down your Jack Ruby. No, you're fine, because it's easy to do with this. Especially when I give you the rest of these names. On this one. You got Ted Kaczynski, Patty Hearst, Sirhan Sirhan. These are like the big names that people speculate this is associated with. Yeah, so Sirhan Sirhan, which like we didn't know was the guy that assassinated Robert F. Kennedy. So, you know, there's all these people, and you're like, well, why would they associate them? if you remember us talking, there was funded experiments that were being done at college, universities, hospitals, military bases, and all this stuff that were either knowingly or unknowingly contributing to research for MKUltra. So all of these are kind of based on that, which is why this is becoming so widely accepted by people because it's so easy to believe, dude. The minute you start to like believe MK Ultra never stopped and they didn't stop with it'll never happen on American soil. What if it's not our program but a similar one? Because they mentioned World War II captured scientists had already discovered or completed this. If we got it, how many other people did?
Oh yeah, I mean we were behind the eight ball when it come to. I mean it sounds terrible. We were behind the eight ball when it come to torture and experimenting on people.
Right.
I mean the
It doesn't
Nazis and
sound
the
terrible.
Russians,
We
like
we tried to, maintain that whole we're civilized. We're civilized. We're not savages, blah 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 blah.
yeah,
Bullshit.
like
When it comes to that, I will say this till I am blue in the face. If you are using rules against people who have no rules, you're going to lose every time. It'd be like
I like to
saying
say,
we're gonna go play
yeah,
dodgeball and we're gonna win. The other team's never played dodgeball, but they'll figure it out. And
yeah. I
then you
mean
go
it was kind of
in,
like once America realized, oh, we're just playing with the. We took the gloves off. They're like,
yeah,
all right, time to get real dirty. You
yep,
guys think you can get dirty? Watch what we'll do.
yeah. And
We'll
then we
take all
went way
your
too
best
far and we had to
guys.
back
We're
up.
gonna, yeah, yeah,
whoa,
had
whoa,
to
whoa,
back
whoa!
out,
We made a mistake.
quote unquote, back out.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Right. Back out of public eye.
Yeah.
But no, that was the first one. Was the Manchurian? Did you see the Monarch programming or Project Monarch come up in your research for this?
Yes, I did come across Project Monarch.
Yeah, this one for me kind of made me giggle because I've watched quite a few of the Godzilla and like the remake Godzilla and King Kong movies, and you know they use the name Project Monarch, but this one's I'm sure you saw this one was like mind control that was based on trauma, like creating split personalities or like using some kind of like a superior symbolism or something. But it always makes me wonder because have you ever heard Disney is another conspiracy I'd love to get into, but have you heard of why they
Oh,
made the
they
movie
froze
Frozen?
his head.
Yeah, but that's
Yes,
why they made the movie Frozen
yes,
so that when you
yes,
looked up
yes.
Disney Frozen it showed that, not Walt Disney Frozen.
I was going to say that's why they put the Monarch out there in
Yep,
your
that's what I
face,
was
dude. They
just
do
gonna
it all
say.
the time. Like they will throw it out in your face,
Yeah, yeah, and
and then they're like,
it's just
you know
nuts.
where the best place to hide is? Right out in the
Yeah,
open. Sometimes,
yeah,
like,
plain sight, hiding in plain sight. Yeah, it's nuts, dude. Monarch is one that you could also believe because like, how do you create a mental? I don't want to say disorder because it sounds bad, and I also don't want to say like deficiency, but like a mental health issue where somebody like has a split personality or has like even PTSD, dude. Like you get PTSD, you can snap. Like you can go from being pleasant, calm, kind, all put together to just pissed off in a second. The way to do that is by trauma. So this one I don't even think should be number 2. This should be up above the Manchurian one because this is just so believable. I think the name just isn't cool. That's what people didn't like.
I don't know. I think Project Monarch kind of is like, that's
Only because you've watched
I don't know.
Godzilla.
I guess, yeah,
That's what I'm
whatever.
saying. If you saw that before, you'd be like, Monarch, butterfly. What the fuck? That doesn't make sense.
I don't know if you give it a name like that, I'd probably be like, so why does the government have Project Butterfly?
yeah, yeah,
That
right.
seems way
Yeah.
too like
That's like
rainbows,
naming
butterflies,
yeah,
ice
that's like
cream, like everything's
naming the
great in the world.
project not doing anything illegal.
Yeah, like
It's just like, what? Hold on. That don't make sense.
yeah,
Let's
it's
just
about
back
like
up and look at
Project.
that.
Don't worry about it. Like
Yeah,
just
yeah.
look away.
Yeah. But, actually, okay, I know you don't watch many like modern TV shows per se. But have you ever seen Severance? It's an
Nope.
Apple show. Okay, so I just started watching
But,
this
but I'm
because
poor. I'm just on Hulu.
well,
Okay.
you know what I mean. Okay, so well, you also don't have Apple. So if if you had ever watched
My
this,
phone, bud.
okay, well then get Apple TV for a trial just to watch Severance. But what I'm saying is Severance is crazy because it's this idea, right? That they split your or they insert a like a chip into your brain if you willingly accept to sign up for this. What it does is it separates you outside of work from you at work. You know, like don't bring work home with you, the old saying, like when you come home after a bad day and you're pissed. That's kind of what they were doing, but it turned into more like you're working somewhere where it's confidential and we don't want you to remember what you're doing at work. So you literally do not know what you do for work other than where you work. If that makes sense. I probably lost a lot of people, but it's crazy because if you read about MK Ultra and then watch that show like I unfortunately did, 2 weeks ago when I started researching, I started watching Severance and then I started reading about MK Ultra and I was like, man, another one. They're kind of just dangling in our face. Like, we can make you do shit that you won't remember. And they made a movie about it or a series. And I'm like, whoa, rough. So that really messed with my head. But I
I'll
only
have to
mentioned
watch
that.
that. I mean, that'll
Yeah,
make me go deeper and deeper down a rabbit hole now.
dude,
But
it's weird. It's
that's
crazy.
crazy.
Dude, the whole show is nuts. But I digress. That's just with talking about MK Ultra and then having that on my mind, it definitely kind of correlates and it's really crazy. So back to what we were on. There's two other big conspiracies that I have. I don't know if you have any outside of these, but they say that a lot of MK Ultra either directly created cults, like people that they created for the project, created cults by using them as a leader, right?
Right.
Most cults that we've ever read about, don't end well.
I would
So,
say they never end well.
right.
Like
Like, there's
it's
a few
always.
that maybe, but like majority of them don't.
What do you mean,
And
maybe?
yeah, well, I mean, like, there's a few that just haven't gone like full Waco or Heaven's Gate.
I was gonna
So,
say, Jim Jones drank the Kool-Aid. That's about
well,
how they all end.
right. But there are some that haven't gotten to that point yet,
Yeah, well, it's
or may
because
not ever.
they haven't gotten in trouble. Like once the head guy gets in trouble, they're like, "All
Yeah,
right,
then it all shuts down.
guess what
It's
we're doing?"
scorched earth.
Yeah,
Everybody
every time.
dies.
Yeah, it's like, "Oh, well, it's
Don't
doomsday."
join a cult. This is our Blazed and Confused will never tell you to join a cult. Don't join them. They all end bad, one way or another.
Nope,
But
it's not worth it.
yeah.
They
So
offer you free good time,
if it
get you
sounds
into
too
for a
good to be
party,
true, it's
and
too
then
good.
they snatch you up, and you're
Right.
toast.
So with that being said, we are starting the Blazed and Confused fan club. We'll meet every Sunday. You all have to donate $300 a day. It's not a cult. It's just a fan club.
And we will house you and feed
Yeah.
you.
Well, we'll promise to, but it'll be under construction until we make enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or we'll just.
Which, by the way, you guys have to build.
Yeah. You guys have to build it too, and you have to clean it. But yeah, with that being said, we're obviously joking. We're not making the fan club. We'll let that be you guys. CIA, if you start up a fan club, we will find out. So
I'll join it.
obviously, obviously with that, the last one that I have is the intelligence agencies that are still around, that are still openly conducting research, just nothing bad. But they're still looking into psychology, coincidence, persuasion, that's our nice way of interrogation now.
Would that be like Scientology?
Yeah, very, very close. Psychology is the study of your brain, buddy, or
I know.
the way your brain works. I know. This one's by Tom Hanks, not Tom Cruise. Okay. Um, but yeah, the studies of
Don't bring him up.
persuasion.
Oh.
Yeah. We're done now.
Oh.
But like studies being conducted on persuasion, human performance, nothing scary about those being researched. Also nothing scary about information operations or like interrogation techniques. Nothing scary there though. That's all been covered under the MKUltra umbrella.
Yeah, well, the thing that gets me about the conspiracies, uh, a lot of them are, like I said earlier, are starting to come to light, and some of them are coming true. But out of the 150 files, we only have maybe what, 20,
And that brings us
30
back to
full
Tesla.
ones?
That's why Tesla is such a hot topic is all of his shit got destroyed. Things that could have made it cheaper to live or better to live or whatever we're going to say. He could have been a quack and none of this stuff actually would have been worth it, We'll say both sides. I have already said where I kind of believe. I think that a lot of his stuff that could have been out would have been beneficial. But you can't necessarily die on that hill with MK Ultra because it's like, what if those other 120, 110, however many, what if those documents are worse? I am afraid that they could be worse, or it could have been something crazy. But
And
that's
like
why there's
we'd like to
conspiracies.
think that, oh, it's just they were nothing. It was something that they half-ass experimented on, and it was not even worth it.
Yep.
It
Well,
was
and you
like,
got to
oh,
think some of this shit
we
has to
gave
be documented.
LSD to a marshmallow to see what happened.
Yeah.
Hopefully it was something dumb like that.
It's
Like
just like it's like Prestige Worldwide. We put liquid paper on a bee. It died. Like shit like that. I mean, it could be. But my question isn't even that. Like they've admitted that this stuff was destroyed. Cool. It's somewhat in the modern era for 110 of these. You've got to think there's a digital backup or a floppy disk or a CD or a thumb drive or
nope.
a,
I
a,
don't know
a
how many
notebook.
movies you have watched, but failed to realize that when the CIA is caught in anything, it is a burn bag. Here
Oh
you
yeah,
are,
yeah, yeah.
folks. Here is your burn bag. Here
It's
is your
like whenever
paper
you watch
shredder.
James Bond, it's just like everything's
You have an
compromised.
office full, and it's always the same thing. An office full of people who are frantically scrambling to just shred and get rid of as much evidence as possible. And it's like,
It's SpongeBob's brain. Get
yeah,
everything we
yeah,
have on this and burn everything we have on this.
that's
Dude, it
exactly
is
what it
nuts.
is.
Yeah.
But it's like, okay, is that really how it is? I'm guessing it is because there's no way that every single movie is the same exact, and they actually do destroy evidence in real
But
life.
do
They've
you
been
think
caught,
do
and
you
it's
think
like,
for real though that every ounce of it is gone? Or do you think it's just, oh, we
no, they
burnt
kept all
it
the
so that
good shit.
nobody can see it and it's actually here, but we're not releasing that cuz these 20, 30, 40 of them already made us look bad. Now we got to just bail out. I don't
I
know.
mean, maybe if they got worse. I mean, they're definitely destroying anything if it was worse than what they already caught on.
Right. Or
I hate to say it.
or
Like I said
unfortunately,
earlier, I wish it was better things, but why would you get rid of something that might make you look a little bit better? Like, oh, the
yeah.
worst thing that they did, and it's terrible, was the mind control.
Yep.
And it's like, all right, that's terrible.
But we'll
But
never find
the
out
the
anything beyond that.
110 other things you guys did was not gonna lie, a waste of money.
Yeah.
You know,
You
but
guys are
it's like,
feeding. You're putting liquid paper on bees. You're domesticating sharks. Like it's this is all stupid, and I don't know why we did it. Or
like
there's the
what
other
was the point
side
of
of
giving
like,
LSD and
yeah,
torturing the guinea pig? Can
well,
somebody?
we needed to know. I
Hey, we
think,
got that guinea pig to go through the tunnel backwards and upside down, man.
yeah,
Like,
you know
okay,
me. I'll end every kind of conspiracy talk with something lighthearted, right? I'm going to say that it is 100% everything that was bad was disclosed and everything that was swept under the rug whoever actually had the information, like, let's say we did this court real, like, Joe Blow court, like, that we can go to. They walked in, presented their case to the judge, and the judge was like, what are these other 110? They're like, well, we can show you them, but we don't think it's something that we need to go over. And they're like, well, I want to look. They're like, we fed a frog LSD and it died. They're like, okay, we'll cross that one off. What's this one? We gave LSD to a hamster and it died. They're just like checking it off. They're like, all right, fuck it, we won't go after these. That's my lighthearted comment. We're gonna end on that for the conspiracy talk. Now, to also combat that, there's just so many unanswered questions, which seems to be a running theme with every conspiracy, every weird thing that happened in history, every paranormal, everything is we don't have an answer. And so we created our own to either fearmonger or to help us sleep at night with a really bad ending.
Sure.
Yeah. I mean, that's
Sure.
like, I mean,
That's the lighthearted note that you want to end on. That's fine.
well, I'm just saying, like, not every children's story ends in a nice thing, like Ring Around the Rosie was talking about the plague. Jack and Jill went up a hill. It ends with one of them cracking their head. Humpty Dumpty falls. It doesn't get put back together. Every kid's like nursery rhyme and bedtime story is actually some like really fucked up, scary
Let's
shit.
just give them the cold hard truth. Okay, the government did mind control experiments on its people, man.
Yeah. But when did they stop, Noah?
They never did.
But they said they did.
But you trust your government.
I don't know about that. I've told you that's I don't distrust them on everything.
You trust them too much on other things.
Yeah. But
you do it to make yourself feel better so that you can sleep at night. I keep myself up because I don't trust the government that much. But then, at just the time you want to trust them and stop trying to be, a conspiracy nut, you find something like MKUltra, and you go, well,
yeah. And but it's so hard to like, I don't know. It's hard to like be 100% like, yeah, they never stopped. It's also hard, like, even harder to say, oh yeah, they stopped. I believe it. They stopped. They also did all this shit without people knowing. What if they stopped MKUltra and they started up something new?
What new would you start? Like a better mind control?
I don't know.
Well, I'm sure they
you always
started
see
something
those.
else that was just as
Well, you've seen
terrible
all the old conspiracies of like, oh, we're living in a simulation, or there's alternate realities, and there's other dimensions, and all this other shit, which are all also things that people are like, oh, well, there's some proof to that. Like, oh, there is an infinite amount of realities you could be living theoretically, but there is only one you, and it's whichever one you are experiencing. Like real, like deep shit that I don't like, because it's just like the Atlov. It's just like all these other conspiracies we've touched on. There's no definitive answer, and it sucks. And the thing about MKUltra that scares me even more is it wasn't a conspiracy theory. This is factual. It happened. The things that we said happened. But the real thing is, it's not, oh, what is this real? It's been proven. The bigger question is, like we have been talking about probably for the last almost 5 minutes, what got destroyed? And how much history and research and developments have we lost not only to MKUltra, to any of the previous things that we had said where all records were destroyed. I know, like, parts of the DIA was the records of that have been destroyed. You know, like they're reconstructing it so you can't go see some parts. The records of Tesla got destroyed. The records of these first spies, you know, for our 4th of July episode. All of this shit has been destroyed. And the question isn't just what did we lose, but for me, it's also, you know, what what was the what was the real behind all of it? Like it's just weird. Like even Kane and I's episode, I don't know if we mentioned it very long, but when we were talking about the World Fair, imagine having all those buildings still standing. Like even if it wasn't, you know, like livable, but it was an exhibit of some kind. The fires that burned all of Chicago, which are already a conspiracy on their own, destroyed all the World Fair evidence. So it's all just stuff that was either, you know, portraits, pictures, documented history that did survive. There's just so much out there that's what if, why, and that's what brings conspiracies.
And you know what? That's what Blazed and Confused loves, though. We love the lies. We love the conspiracies. You know, it's what keeps us going.
Yeah, without it, I mean, we wouldn't have half the topics we have.
No,
We'd
I mean,
still be,
and
I mean,
fuck, I
we'd be
might be
questioning
normal.
things. Yeah, right, right. It wouldn't be all deep thoughts and conspiracies and what ifs and whys. It would be, you know, us talking about what fish we could fight. Um, you know, why do we eat,
I tell you
you
right now,
know,
I'll choke out an alligator.
shit. Yeah, it would be it would be that. And, you know, we still like talking about that, you know. So with that, like all that being said, hopefully you guys liked this big two-parter. This one was more just catching back up on what we said, and then the conspiracies that followed, and some other, you know, fun little talking at the end. We didn't want to throw out a 2-3 hour episode, so we split it into two. If you guys have ideas, please, please, please put them in the comments. You guys may think scrolling past, like, oh, we don't need to comment. We don't need whatever. If you guys do that, it helps us greatly. Just with a little bit of confidence, new topics that we didn't even think about, you know, things like that. Um, so, you know, as always, the challenge is still on. Share us, like the videos. It's silly to say, I hate saying it. I said to Noah when we first started, we're not going to do it. But YouTube changed everything. So that's the only way to get us higher up. And right now, that's our highest platform. So share our YouTube, share the Spotify, share the Apple. You know,
And
we
comment.
appreciate you guys. Yeah.
Talk with
Comment.
us. We love interacting with our listeners. Tell us what
Yep.
you guys want to hear. You know, like Max said, uh, and we appreciate it.
Yeah.
And we appreciate you guys listening. For everybody who's already commenting, we appreciate it.
Yeah. One person I'd like to see a comment from, shout out Craig. Give us, you know, give us a little something so we don't feel like we're talking to nothing. With that being said, though, this has been Blazed and Confused. Peace.